Hello, everyone. Well, I thought the sun was going to come out there for a minute. I'm having almost a half a cup of coffee. I've been cooking my meal for the day. Like I told y'all, I changed my eating habits and the way I eat and what I eat. I've been slowly doing it. I've been preparing. I've been making room in my life to be healthy. I've been making room in this body to be healthy. I've been making room in my mind uh, to have a healthy body. So right now I'm only having, I got in my little cup, believe, says everything is possible for one who believes. Mark 9:23. So, but that's what I've been doing here today. I've been sitting around contemplating and um, making room in my brain for a new way of thinking, a new way of living, and letting my mind and my brain get used to knowing it's going to live a different way. And so that's basically what I'm just going to sit here and talk to y'all about. Everybody gather around with your coffee, your tea, your cappuccino, your Pepsi, your green drink, whatever. And let's discuss this. Now, and this is not, well, it's like I don't just listen to my own what's going on inside me. I take tips from other people, and so some of what I'm speaking about right now to y'all is some thoughts that were mine, some were um, the creators, some were from other people, but and I've put it all together. So with me uh, wanting something more, something better, and somebody said this a long time ago to me, and I heard it. I don't know if it was a pastor, a preacher, or whatever, just somebody that was just talking. But they said that you will not be provided with something new until you take care of what you got. So if somebody wanted a new car, they weren't going to get a new car if they weren't taking care of the one that they had. If it was all dirty and messy inside, if it was cluttered up with stuff that people would just pow in there and or they would pow in there and hide it in there or whatever. They're packed full and there was no room to budge or anything. But and that goes for anything. They said that if you're not going to take care of your home, God, the Creator, is not going to give you a new one. So why would God give you a new one if you couldn't take care of the one you got? Because if you weren't cleaning the house or the car that you got now, why would why should you get a new one and it end up just the same? It wasn't me. You wasn't putting no oil in the car. You wasn't replacing the shingles on the roof. You weren't keeping your living room clean. You weren't keeping your bedroom clean. Nothing. Everything was all cluttered up, and so that stuck with me for a long, long time. But see, even before I learned all that stuff, I always kept my house clean. I mean, my mom taught us to keep our space clean. I had my own bedroom after I got so old, and our job on the weekend was to clean our bedrooms and then help with the living quarters. And that's just the way I was raised. So, and I've been that way all my life, even even living in a tent, kept my tent clean. So, I've always had some sort of roof over my head, even if it was a tent. And being homeless, but I had a tent over my head. So I've been sitting here, and listening to different people and stuff, and thinking about, boy, I sure would. I mean, the camper was fine for a while. I mean, it's still fine. I mean, it keeps me out of the elements. Quite cold in the wintertime, and it's quite expensive in the wintertime to stay warm. And that's only to stay warm to keep from freezing. It's been a challenge. It really has been a challenge, which, it will keep you confused in other areas of your life if you're not warm, if you're not comfortable, if you feel all cluttered up. Me, anyway. And so I want a bigger home. I don't want to have to go out and pay rent. I don't want to make somebody else wealthy. I want to make me wealthy. And so, what do I got to do to get another place? All right. I mean, I have a little bit of credit, but I don't have enough credit to go out to a bank and say, I would like to buy a home, and then go to a realtor and say, well, this is the kind of home I want. So I don't have good enough credit for that if I went that route. Now, I might be able to rent to own, but you still got to have enough money to start out with. I might be able to find somebody that's willing to trust me. And of course, even if you rent to own, you have to do it legally for them and for yourself. So all those avenues that I've been looking into, I know a lot of that stuff already because I looked into it a long time ago. I did have some land that I did on land contract that I learned through that kind of stuff, and but uh, even though I know all those aspects, and uh, and I look around at myself and I say, well, am I taking care of what I got? Well, maybe I think I am, and maybe I thought I was, but am I really? I mean, I've been doing a lot of downsizing from way back when, but I've been doing a lot of downsizing here too. But just keep bringing more stuff back in, thinking I'm going to make it work. Well, so in the last few weeks, I've really been making room for what is important to me. It's important to me to have a nice, comfortable bed, which I got my bedroom now situated to an extent, and but I'm learning to just sleep in there. Don't watch no TV in there. Um, but anyway, I'm thinking, well, I gotta learn to love what I got, and take care of what I got first. So that's what I've been working on, not just physically, but mentally too. And to be grateful for what I got. I don't have to sit here 24/7 and say, oh, I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. No, I'm very grateful for a roof over my head, a place that I can design and add this or add that or take this away, and it feel comfortable and content for me. So working in my mind too, along with what I've been doing in here, I've reduced my cookware down to, I have a toaster that I've been working on what little bit of bread I have. And maybe if I find the right bread, maybe I'll do it again. But I'm done with the bread for now. I've got a 100-watt crock pot that I'm cooking in right now. I'm making a meal for today, and it'll probably be for tomorrow too. And I got a pan and I got a couple fry pans. But for the most part, I'm pretty much done with frying anything. And I got my fruit in the refrigerator. I got my coffee pot, just a regular coffee pot, Mr. Coffee, that it can not only make my coffee for me, but I can heat water up for it for tea. Or if I want to heat water for tea, I've got my pan that I can put on my propane stove. So everything is dwindled. I mean, my kitchen is right there. Right there. And I don't need what you call a bunch of preparing room to prepare my meals with. That's good right there. So I've been working with all of that to make things more simpler for me and still eat healthy, still eat good, and no 3 or 4 meals a day. Mostly just 1 meal a day, and then my fruit. So we'll see how long this is going to be last before I just get into all raw fruit. So, but anyway, back to the other subject of what I've been doing is preparing for another home. And what I heard somebody else say is that you're not going to get what you want until you make room for what you want. I got to make room for another home. Well, you say, well, what do you mean? You're in a camper. How can you make room for a home inside your camper? Well, first of all, your home starts within you. And if I can take this, what I've got, use what I've got, and that's what I'm always saying, use what I've got to develop a home where I feel my home is in here. I feel very content and I feel very peaceful, and so that's the mental preparing for my home, making room for a new home, and the new home starts here. And as far as money goes, I've been learning to save better. I've been learning how to not go out and spend money on this and that and what. If I can take $20 and put it away there, $20 and put it away there. So I've got money stashed different places. I've got cash on hand. I've got money cards. And I have my bank account and I have my savings account. So I've been doing a little bit of here and there. And plus, working on my mind what kind of home I want. What all do I want? And I've got it written down. And so I've been making room for the house and the home and the lifestyle I want to live. Now I'm going to spruce this up here a little bit more to what I really want in the look. I want boho, either boho or French style, and that's one of the things I've been looking into. So, and I've been working on my walk-in closet in there, if you want to call it that, and I'm not done with it yet. So I want a little station there where I got my clothes in 3 closets and plus a clothes rack that I've got. And I've got a comfy chair in there and a lamp and everything that I can sit there. And so I'm working on that to get a station where I can sit and put my makeup on, fix my hair. And it's all right there. It's not going to be scattered all over the house. So when we want something in this life, say for instance, in fact, I'm going to use an example, and I haven't talked to my son-in-law about it yet, and I may not, but right now his truck has been broke down for months now, and it's in the garage. And they ended up taking the full coverage off and just put liability on it, because if they took the insurance off of it, they would want the plates to it. And I knew that I knew this, and I told my daughter about it beforehand, and yeah, that's the way it was. And because I went through it before. Well, anyway, there it sits. Well, he really don't need the truck to get back and forth to work. Let's see, they have three other vehicles but one of them's broke down, and Teresa has a green Trans Am, and they have their family car. So he don't need the truck to get to work. Plus, his work allows him to drive the company truck back and forth to work. So, here's the thing. Does he really want a truck? Because the truck would provide him with a way to haul things that they need to do things around the house here, around to haul things with. Well, not having a truck right now prevents him from having to do that. So maybe it's just like a mental thing. I don't know. But here's the thing. If he really wants a truck, he has to make room for a truck. If he wants a new one, he has to get rid of this one, or fix this one and sell it. But that's not registering in a lot of people's mind. And once you make room for what you want, whether it be mental or physical, I would say his is both mental and physical, because he don't have the space to bring another vehicle in, and mentally either. So he has to mentally focus on the fact that I need a truck. He has to understand, I need a truck. I want a truck. So either get that one fixed or get a new one. Maybe not new, but you know what I mean. So we all get stuck in this mental state of, you get this idea that you'd like to have something, or you'd like to move to a new house, you'd like to have a new car, or you'd like to have a new dress, or a new couch, or whatever. But you gotta make room for it. And well, you say, well, I can't get rid of the couch that I've got now until I've got the other one. Well, you make room for it mentally. You let it go. You let it go. That's just like this camper. I keep saying to myself, well, I can't go get another place because I don't want to get rid of my camper. Make room in my brain for another house. I don't really have to get rid of the camper to get another house. Just get a big enough area of a house with the land to be able to park the camper on the property. So I don't have to get rid of the camper. So a lot of times, and we don't know it, but we have to go into our mind because everything starts with our mind and how we're thinking. And like I said before, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. So you got to get your brain to understand. You got to get you to understand that where there's a will, there's a way. So don't let limitations stop you from getting what you want. So I've been making room. I can find a place where I can park my camper. Problem solved in my brain anyway. So now the next step is what I've been doing. I've been getting rid of stuff that makes my transition from the camper into the house easier. Getting rid of broke stuff, getting rid of stuff that has no purpose in my new life. So that's basically what I've been doing. And, oh, well, that's like my hair. Everything is a process, really. I could not get back to my original silver hair unless I just let it grow completely out again. Then I have to cut all the dark off if I did it that way. But stripping the dark back out, and it was easier because it was dye in the first place, stripping that all back out, and then putting gray on it, and here we are. I did it. I got my original silver hair back, and it's a process of moving into my new life, my new lifestyle, and how I want to live my life. I want to live peaceful. I want to live simple. I want to be a country girl in a big way. If a country girl living in a big way, living simply in a big way. I can still do some of the other things that I was doing the other way when I was it was a big hassle to do everything. Everything don't need to be a big hassle. You just got to reduce it down to where it's more simple to have everything you want. And there are ways of doing that. So that's what I've been doing, folks. And, and by the way, I cannot believe how much different Sassy has been since she got 14 teeth pulled out of her head and all that infection gone. She runs and plays. She'll run up and down the ramp out there to go in and out. She'll get excited if I don't know, it ain't an every minute kind of thing, but she'll get excited and start jumping around this way and that way and stuff and playing with me. And of course, she's having a hard time jumping up here. I have to help her climb up on the sofa with me. And she has not just been peeing anytime she wanted to. She's been letting me know when she needs to go outside, and I'm up and on the ball with that, and I'm walking a whole lot better myself, up and around. Now, it's still a little difficult for me to get up off of this futon, to stand straight up all at once, but it's easier to walk since I've lost. I'm gonna have to say I've lost at least 15 pounds from last year when I got weighed. I weighed 158 pounds. So things are changing, but it has to start up here. You have to make a quality decision and be intentional about your thinking, be intentional about uh, what direction you want to go into, and know yourself above all things. Know yourself. Know that you don't want to be around a certain. Oh, like me and my daughter was talking about. Uh, uh, she found a place the other day that was rent to own, but it was in Wellsville, right next to the river. I mean, not right on top of the river, but Wellsville was right next to the river. And I said, nah, I don't want to be that close to the water. I don't swim. Now, if I don't panic if I happen to get in the water, I can make myself float and or I can tread water. So when you know those things about yourself, you kind of know which direction you can go into and which direction you can't. If you don't want to sit and worry about it, it's raining and maybe who knows, maybe the river will flood, you know, those kind of things you know. Although I still got my Florida's driver's license, do I want to go back to Florida where all the hurricanes and stuff are? And all the flooding? No, I don't. So you got to know enough about yourself where you want to be and where you don't want to be by who you are and what you don't want to be and what you have to deal with. So if you want something different in your life, make room for it. Not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. So, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit will dry up your bones. And as a man thinks in his heart, that's what he will be. If you believe or you think inside here, and with all you've got, that you'll not ever have anything, you'll never be anybody or anything amount to piddly beans, that's what you'll be. But if you believe that you're somebody, that you're going to have your dreams fulfilled, that's what you'll gravitate towards. And Henry Ford said, if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you're right. And that's the name of my channel. She believes she could. I believe I can. I believe that I can accomplish what I'm sitting out here to do. And I'm doing it. So I said way back when, I don't know how long ago, I said that I was going to turn my hair back to the natural color, which is silver. And I was a little bit afraid. But you got to do it afraid sometimes. And I did it. So, all right. Hugs and kisses, folks. I don't want to leave, but y'all have a great day. Talk to you later.